All right, let's go ahead and get started. I know a couple people might be coming in a little bit later. They shared. Um, so today we are talking about our hip strength, and this is the muscles that are working in your um, pelvis. And so we're focusing on stability, posture. So trying to stand upright we're going to talk about neutral spine here in just a second. And then our first exercise, our main exercise for today is a glute bridge, which is on the floor. All right. So we're going to do glute bridge today. We're going to do a deadlift, and we are going to. I know yesterday we did. For those of you who were live, we did the stairs. When after I recorded, I showed you how to do that. Well, today stairs are actually in the one of the exercises we're doing. So you'll get the video, the recording with that as well. And then let me think. One more. What am I doing? What's the last one? Oh, a hip opener. So we'll talk about that too, because we need to get out of a car, you need to get out of bed, right? And we need to open the hip in order to do that. So let's go ahead and get started. We're just going to move around just a little bit before we head to the floor. And then I will walk you through how to do a glute bridge. All right, so let's go ahead and let's just start with just marching. Let me change my screen here a bit so you don't see as much of my ceiling. All right, so we're just going to stand and then just bring your knees up nice and easy. Get the juices flowing, right? All right, so again, when we stand, we're gonna practice our neutral spine in just a second. I want you to go ahead and get the legs send a little energy and love down to them. All right, we're gonna go ahead and plant your feet. And this is where you would stand in a neutral stance. This is your natural posture. So when you move around and when you plant your feet, wherever your body aligns, that is your natural posture. So what I want you to imagine is that you are standing with a wall behind you. And if you want to move to a wall behind you, you're more than welcome to. The back of your head is touching that wall. Your neck, so this area right here, that is going to curve in. Naturally, it curves in. Then your upper back, that's going to be touching the wall. And then you've got a slight curve, right behind your belly button, that lumbar spine. Then you've got your glutes, your bottom, probably touching the wall, and then you're straight down. So what I want you to do is to keep your ear over your shoulder. Ear over your shoulders, shoulders over the hips, hips over the knees, knees over the ankles. Your neck is neutral. You're going to go ahead and you're going to place your hand on the base of your neck, on the back of your neck, and I want you to look up to the ceiling. You have a scrunched neck. I want you to look down to the floor, and your neck should be tight, right? And then slowly bring the chin up to where your neck feels like you're gazing straight in front, and your neck feels kind of soft. All right, that is your neutral spine, and your ear is probably lined up with your shoulder at that point. All right, breastbone forward, navel tucked in a little bit. Beautiful. Stay right here. Let's roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Another direction. And then go ahead and step out a little bit, and I want you to twist side to side, a little tiny twist. Doesn't have to be big. Just kind of moving the torso, getting the hips ready to go. All right, one more each side, and then let's go ahead and slowly make it to the floor. However gracefully you want to make it to the floor, let's head there. Change my screen a little bit. All right, let's go to our glute bridge. On the floor, on the floor. Coming down, want to make sure that your spine is imprinted onto the floor under just a bit. Make sure hips are both firmly planted on your mat. You feel like your spine is neutral. Place your hands by your hips, and we're just going to go ahead and inhale and lift our hips up and take them back down. Hips up and take them back down. Lifting them up and taking them back down. Variations you could do. Variations you could do. You could do a single leg bridge. Alternating sides, or you could do 10 on one side and 12 on the other. We've got 4 more of these. We're doing a total of 10. Lift up high, down low. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. 1 more. Now, as you're doing this, I want you to think about where your feet are. If your feet start to kind of rotate out and your knees drop open, bring it in. Bring it in. Go ahead and take your hips all the way down. All the way down. And if you want to tick-tock your knees, you can windshield wiper your knees here. All right, we are going to do one more exercise with our glute bridges. And this is extremely important as we get older. We're going to add a Kegel exercise. So we're going to squeeze our pelvic floor up as we come up on that glute bridge, and we're going to release as we come down. All right, so when you're doing this, I want you to imagine that you've got an elevator from the bottom of your torso and to the top, and you're going to squeeze your muscles up the top of the elevator to the top floor, and then the muscles are going to come back down. So let's go ahead, glute bridge up, squeeze, Kegel exercise, inhale, and release and slowly come back down. Kegel exercise, glute bridge, and exhale and come back down. On that glute bridge, go ahead and extend. I want you to feel like your quadriceps when you're at the top. Are those stretched? And then go ahead and come back down. So we're dual tasking here. Keep your knees in line with your hips, so don't let them drop open. Don't let them collapse in. Keep it going. Lifting, squeezing the pelvic floor, and releasing. Let's do 3 more. Coming all the way down to the floor, lifting the hips up, stretching those muscles. In addition to your quadriceps, you're also stretching your hip flexors, the muscles that go from your pelvic girdle to the top of your leg, and those muscles are contracted for most of the day, so they really enjoy this stretch. And relax all the way down. Now we're going to slowly and gracefully come up to standing, whatever that looks like for you. If you want some tips, you're going to go ahead, you're going to roll onto your side, come up into a tabletop, 1 foot forward, push up, and stand up. All right, so let me change my screen a little bit. We're going to move on to another exercise. So that's your glute bridge. Why do we do a glute bridge? Well, because it helps us for standing up from a couch. Remember when we were doing squats the other day and we added a little thrust? Okay, that is our glute bridge right there. Helps you with climbing stairs, walking uphill. All of these exercises today are to help with those type of movements, including supporting our posture, right? Like if we walk around and we have our pelvic forward and our behind back, we kind of look like a duck, right? It puts a lot of pressure on our, we got a lot of weight in our belly, and it puts a lot of pressure on our back. We need to correct our hips so that the body's in more of alignment too. And then also, if we walk around if our back is super tight, then and our front is loose, we walk around like with our belly out here. Not good for the back either. So we need to find that neutral spine somewhere in the middle, and that's where we'll start from, and that's where we want to have our movement start from. All right, so let's go on to a deadlift. Body weight deadlift. A variation would be to pick up a weight, right? You don't need to pick up a weight. If you want to, you can, but let's go ahead and do just the deadlift. All right, so standing, feet are hip width apart. I'm going to move my mat. Feet are about hip width apart. Knees are bent. Knees are bent. All right, we're going to hinge forward till your back feels like, till your torso feels like it's parallel to the floor. You can reach down toward the floor. I want you to feel like your behind is pressed back, your hamstrings are stretched. Another thing that I heard somebody cue one time before is like push your back like you are, you've got your hands full and you're trying to shut a door. Back, right? Okay, so that's what I want you to push those glutes back. And then when you're ready, inhale, come up. Shoulders can go up, back, and down. Exhale, come forward. Press that hamstrings back. And inhale, lift up. Let's do 8 more. Reach down and lift up. So what does this mimic in everyday life? Well, if you've ever had to pick up groceries off the floor, now I recommend, obviously, you bend a little bit more in the knees. But this can help pick something off the floor. Keep it going. Let's do 4 more of these. 4 more. Hamstrings back. Again, it doesn't matter if you can touch the floor or not. That's not the goal. That's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to lengthen the hamstrings. We're working on the glutes. We're leaning forward. We're coming back up. All right, I think we have about 2 more left. Straighten the spine. Come up. Nice back bend here. Strengthen that low back. Go ahead and roll your shoulders up, back, and down. All right, the next thing we're going to do is a hip opener. And I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'm going to come up and talk. So it's just stepping up and over. All right, we're going to alternate sides. So when I cue this, I often say, imagine you're stepping over like a laundry basket. You are stepping over a Great Dane. I heard one person one time describe it as a baby hippo. You know, I want you to imagine there's something sizable beside you, and you need to step up and over it. So what does this stimulate? This is your better balance, because you're going to be on a single leg. So those of you who were like, oh, balance, I need to work on balance. So this is a single leg exercise for a while, right? You need stability on one side. You're looking at stepping sideways because you've got a little bit of a sideways when you're here. You're stepping to the side a bit, right? So it helps us when we need to move side to side. So let's go ahead and get started with that. We're going to alternate sides. Pick which side you want to start on. It's fine if you do the different one than I am. We're going to switch to the other. Ready? Step up and over that laundry basket, baby hippo, dog, other side. Up and over. Up and over. We're going to do 10 of these. That was 1. We're working on 2. Let's step up and over. Up and over. Up and over. Beautiful. All right, we have got, this is 4. Now, if you wanted to change your hands from your hips, you could change your hands up here, heart center, halfway there. Open the hips. Bring it in. Step up and over. This can help you with walking and then stepping up and over a curb, right? So opening up those hips, stepping out of a car. All right, I think we have 3 more each side. 3 more each side. Let's do 2 more. One more each side. Tick-tock your hips. Hula hoop your hips. Other direction. And relax. All right, the last exercise we're going to do is the stairs. So I'm going to walk you over there. I'm going to show you a couple of the exercises we did. So the first thing we did yesterday was we talked about this on Monday too, is using steps to walk up sideways. So I'm facing the wall with my chair rail or with my handrail. Here, actually can't see that. There we go. All right, up and down. Now you can also use like a step if you have a step like from aerobics. All right, so you could do this exercise. This works the hips, and it strengthens the side of the hips, which we need for stabilization in our hips to be able to walk forward. Here we go. Back, other side. Now I'm switching sides. Again, if you have a step, that's great. Not everybody has steps in their house. So that would be something like this. This is something you could do. And if you just had a curb, it's just up and down, right? Okay, the other guys I was showing you can do this on a curb too, is you stand with your toes off the chair or off the stair, and you just take one leg down and up. One leg is off the stair and comes down and up. Now I'm holding on, as you can see, I'm holding on to my chair rail and my handrail, and I am just coming down, and my foot is flexed. I'm bending this leg down and up. This is going to really target your glutes. All right, so you could do something like this. All right, same idea, other side. Bend. Now, if you are in your basement, let's say, and you don't have a step in here, change this a little bit. Could you do this and bend your hips? You can't see my whole body, but I'll show you over here. Do you feel are achievable? Small actions, right? Small actions that we do on a day-to-day basis that lead to impactful results. Okay, so here we go. If you were to just, here, it'd be like a single leg squat. I promise you're going to feel it probably more on the step than you are standing here. So try it. All right, so we're going to go back, and we're going to go back to the last few exercises, not the glute bridges, but let's talk about how these are functional. All right, climbing stairs, getting out of bed, getting out of the couch. So these are daily movements that we want to be keep doing. We don't want to be feeling like it's hard to get out of bed, right? Walking uphill, getting up off the floor. All right, that's something I hear so much from the people I work with. They want to be able to get up off the floor, which I get. You know, everybody wants to be able to get off the floor, but you have to practice it. You have to practice it. Don't fear getting off the floor and not practice it. That is not helpful. So, figure out how you can roll to your side. Figure out you can get to tabletop, all fours. Crawl to a chair, crawl to a couch, whatever you need to help get you up. But if you don't practice it, if it ends up you're on the floor and you're like, I don't know what to do, I don't know how I'm going to get up. That's not safe. That doesn't help you with your independence, right? All right, so climbing stairs, climbing over curbs. We did those hip abductors. We want to be able to step over a curb. We want to be able to step over something that's in front of us as we're walking through the house, right? We need to be able to pick up our feet. So when we did the hip abductor, okay, up here, we're lifting our knee and we're bringing it over and we're lifting our knee. If there's something in front of us, all right, we're lifting our knee, we're stepping forward. We're lifting our knee, we're stepping forward. As we age, sometimes we start to shuffle or not pick up our feet. That can lead to falls. So use your hips to pick up that leg, to move either sideways or forward. All right, so let's finish off with a few deadlifts and a few of those hip abductors, okay, to wake up those hips. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to do 30 seconds. You do as many as you want or as little as you want. Remember, control is important. We're not trying to knock these out. All right, I'm just giving you 30 seconds and not a number. Here we go. Deadlift first. Hip distance, knees are soft. Go to pick something up, come all the way up. Parallel torso to the floor, lift up. Parallel torso to the floor, lift up. All right, press those hamstrings back and lift up. All right, you've got 10 more seconds of this exercise. Reaching down, lengthen from your hips to your head. Go ahead, come all the way up and relax. All right, we're going to do 5 sets of those hip abductors. Lift up those knees. Here we go. Up and over. Up and over. Let's do 4 more. Remember to breathe. Keep your back nice and straight, breastbone forward. All right, who's counting for me? When Megan starts talking, Megan stops counting. You all are on mute. You better watch out. I think this is 5. All right, tick-tock your hips. Go ahead and rotate. Other direction. And relax. All right, let's go ahead and just twist side to side. Again, talking about the functionality of the hip. Make sure you add these exercises to your daily practice. It doesn't take long. If you did 10 deadlifts and you did 10 opening your hips and you did 10 things off of the stair and then you did 10 glute bridges, I mean, goodness gracious, you could do that as an exercise snack, 30 seconds each or a minute for each, and you've got 5 minutes. And we can all spare 5 minutes for exercise and to improve your longevity, your health span, and your independence. What you put in today is going to help you tomorrow. All right, so we want to try to be proactive than reactive.